Well, hello, all of my students. I hope you're having a fantastic day. My name is Jay, and welcome to another English lesson where I have the opportunity to help you to improve your English comprehension, vocabulary, and your English fluency. Well, it is another beautiful day where I am, and I am excited to have an English through story lesson for you today. Tons of vocabulary words and phrases. I am prepared to teach you today, so I hope you're ready for somewhat of a lengthy lesson today. It's going to take a while, and so we're going to have a great time. At least I hope we're going to have a great time on today's lesson, and I'm so glad, grateful, and thankful that you are joining me today. Let me say thank you so much to all of the new channel members that are on my main channel. I believe just 2 or 3 channels. You can get all of them. Let's see, how can I do this? Right here. Just scan the QR code right there, or just go to my website right here. I have podcasts that I do once a week. I have Parlay with Jay, and I've been thinking about changing my Parlay with Jay format. I see you guys love stories, but I want that channel to be more of engagement. So I may be doing something a little bit different there. I love to engage with those who support the channel. And of course, my main channel where I have hundreds of stories and lessons that you can learn, and hopefully you will share with your peers, especially friends and family that are trying to improve their English. I know it will be very helpful. So let's get ready to dive into today's story that I have put together. I'm going to talk maybe a little slow, but I'm going to try to move it along because it is a lengthy story. Also, let me say before I get into the story, I am thinking about doing an audio podcast. I used to do one, and it was a grind. It took a lot of time for me to put it together and distribute it. I'm thinking about just doing audio versions on YouTube, so you guys don't have to worry about going to another platform. So I hope you can give me some feedback. Would you listen to that maybe while you're working out, at the airport, at work? And it would be no visuals, just audio. But if you want visuals like you have here, just let me know down in the comments section. Okay, enough of my intro. Let's dive into today's story. I hope you're ready for some learning and laughter. Samuel Briggs was not a man easily frightened. Okay? He was not a man that was easily fearful or scared. Someone could not easily shake him. Okay? We would say knock him off his rocker. Okay? At 42, he considered himself a steady fellow. Okay? Let's look at the context clues. A steady fellow, a man who handled problems with calm logic and a hot cup of chamomile tea. So a person that is steady, a steady fellow, a steady woman, a steady person is someone who is mild-mannered. We usually call a person like that as just being so chill. There's someone that's relaxed. Nothing gets them too excited. Nothing saddens them. They're just even keel. That's how we say it. They are a even-keeled person. They are the same in January the same person in July and the same person in December. Okay. The seasons change, but they're the type of person that remains the same no matter what. Now, that's a great friend to have. Now, notice what I put in the story. He handled his problems with calm logic and a hot cup of chamomile tea. Okay, I love chamomile tea. One thing about it, it is an herbal tea that will definitely relax you. So if you work in a high stress environment, or you have a lot of drama in your life, maybe you're in sales, maybe you have a large family, and it's hard for you to get rest, it's hard for you to settle down, get you a cup of hot chamomile tea. And that problem will quickly be resolved, because chamomile tea, it will relax you. It puts me to sleep. And it also cleans me out. When I drink it, I mix it with my green tea and I relax. My wife, she drinks it. She loves it. It puts her to bed early. And the next day, I notice that my body is ready to detox. So chamomile tea is great. Let's continue. But logic had its limits. Logic had its limits. So Samuel was the type of person who was a thinker. But here we're about to see a twist in the story where some things in life just don't make sense. They are mysterious, okay? Hard to understand, hard to express, or to cause someone else to know what's going on. Logic has its limits. So for instance, if a tornado came through a community of 50 homes and 49 homes were destroyed, but one remained intact, no deaths, no destruction, you would say, wow, that was miraculous. And my logic, I can't wrap my mind around it. So that is an instance where we would say logic has its limits. I have a friend at church who shared with me that her son was in a car accident. He hit the back of an 18-wheeler, and the vehicle he was in rolled over, I believe she said, 6 times and hit the concrete median, and he was left in the ditch. He didn't have one scratch, no broken bones, no serious concussions. That was a miracle. Okay, that was beyond logic. Okay, he had maybe just a scrape or two, but nothing serious happened to him at all. Okay, so let's find out what happens in my story. But logic had its limits, especially at 3 a.m. when his dog Buster started barking like the world was ending. The sound ripped through Samuel's dreams like a fire alarm. So his dog's barking really alarmed him, okay? It was something that startled him. And notice it ripped through his dreams like a fire alarm. The barking was like the world was ending, coming from his dog Buster. So this was an unusual sound that his dog was making. He was like, what, is really going on with Buster? Has he seen a squirrel, a raccoon? What is it that he is sensing? He jolted, or he moved very quickly, upright, heart pounding, eyes wide. The room was cloaked in darkness except for the faint glow of the alarm clock. So when Samuel woke up, It was like he was sleeping. Then he said, he jolted. He moved suddenly, like my wife does sometimes when we're in the bed sleeping. I'm like, woman, what's wrong with you? You are frightening me. What in the world is going on with you, girl? You're messing with my sleep. Let's find out what happens. The room was cloaked or covered. The room was cloaked or covered in darkness, except for the faint or small glow of the alarm clock. Buster's growls echoed from downstairs, sharp and frantic. "Oh, great," Samuel muttered, or whispered, rubbing his eyes. So he was like, "Oh man, Buster, what are you doing?" Either a burglar's breaking in, or Buster finally discovered his reflection again. So what we're seeing is that it's early in the morning. The dog is barking. Samuel was asleep. It's dark. So now Samuel is trying to figure out what in the world is going on. What has his dog so, as we would say, geeked? What's wrong with you? I mean, why are you so excited? What has your attention? "Oh, great," he muttered, rubbing his eyes. Either a burglar's breaking in, or Buster's finally discovered his reflection again. Still, he couldn't shake the uneasy feeling. The hairs on his neck stood up. His body's own burglar alarm. So isn't it amazing how your body will alert you to danger? Sometimes I find it so amusing how when you get afraid, your hair stands up on your body. Your skin crawls. Sometimes you begin to sweat. Various things happen in the body to let us know that danger is approaching. Now this is getting exciting. Let's find out what happens. Still, he couldn't shake the uneasy feeling. The hairs on his neck stood up, his body's own burglar alarm. Grabbing his trusty baseball bat from the corner, he crept toward the stairs. He crept toward the stairs. So he moved very slowly and silently, okay? In other words, he... Okay. He crept. Okay. His wife, Kim, was sound asleep beside him, or so he thought. As he descended, the wooden steps creaked like tattletales. So the wooden steps made noise as he walked across the floor. A tattletale. So a tattletale is someone who can't hold a secret. They're going to talk. They're going to squeal. They're going to make some noise. Okay, a tattletale. The living room lay in shadows, silent, except for Buster's low growl. What did this dog find? Then movement. A figure by the window. Tall, silent, creeping. Oh my goodness. Samuel froze. "This is it," he whispered. "Fight or flight." He chose fight. Now, fight or flight is a phrase that we use to describe you have a choice to make. You have a decision to make. Fight or flee. Fight or run. Okay? Defend yourself or get out of Dodge. Okay? So fight or flight, which means to either put up a fight or leave the area quickly. So Samuel, he chose to fight. He better fight. You're in your own house, Samuel. You don't run in your own house. You defend your house. So he chose to fight. Now, what is he going to fight? Let's find out. With the precision of a man in a late night action movie, he snatched the can of pepper spray from the counter and charged. Okay? With the precision. So Samuel was very, very accurate. When you're precise, you hit your target. Okay? So even though it was early in the morning, it was dark, he was afraid, his senses were working properly. Okay? So he had precision. He grabbed a can of pepper spray. Let me show you something. Oh, my bag's not in here. I have a bag. I keep pepper spray because you as we say, you want to be ready so you don't have to get ready. So I keep pepper spray. I keep a knife. I keep a firearm. Man, I done got up too old in age now to have to squabble and fight. I'm looking for a way to keep any opposition far away from me. Trying to deter any violence or crime that may try to come my way. So yes, pepper spray, which you spray in people's eyes so they can't see and you have a few moments to make your escape. A knife so you can poke someone that may get close, or a firearm. You know what that does. Bang, bang. And I legally have a firearm. Let's see what happens. Not today, criminal scum. Criminal scum. So he was saying, criminal scum, basically saying, you bad guy, okay? You broke in my house. I don't know why you're here, but not today. I'm going to do something about this. Not today, criminal scrum. He shouted. The intruder, okay? Intruder. So an intruder is someone who is trespassing on someone else's property. There's someone in your yard or in your home that's not supposed to be there. They are intruding. The intruder turned, but it was too late. A fierce hiss filled the air, followed by a scream. A fierce, a very loud, okay, recognizable sound filled the air, followed by a scream. High-pitched panic and oddly familiar. So the scream that he heard was from a voice of a person that he recognized. Ah! So he heard someone scream and he was like, who is that? I know that voice. Let's find out what happened. Samuel, what on earth? Too late again. Samuel swung the bat, connecting with a soft thud and an So he hit somebody and it hurt. Pow! Ah! Ah! A thud. So a sound. That's a clap. But a thud is if I hit the table, boom, or like you hit the wall, a thud. The figure crumbled to the floor. Buster barked triumphantly, as if cheering for justice. Buster didn't do anything. If I got a dog, I want him biting the intruder. Buster didn't do anything but warn me to let me know someone was there. Why didn't Buster jump on the intruder? What kind of dog does Samuel have? Maybe he had one of those little small house dogs. No, I need something that's going to put in some work. Time to get a new dog. Samuel flicked on the light. Now, that's a word we use. We often say, flick the light on, okay? Which means to turn the light on. Now, you can flick a gnat, flick a bug, okay? Flick something, some food off of your mouth. But we often say in English, hey, can you flick the light on? Turn the light switch on so we can have some light. Samuel flicked on the light, expecting to see a masked thief sprawled on the carpet. Sprawled. Laid down, cringing from pain from being hit with a baseball bat. Instead, he saw his wife Kim wearing her pink robe, clutching a loaf of bread and blinking through tearful eyes. Kim, what's happening? Kim coughed, still half asleep. I was making toast. Toast? At 3 a.m.? She blinked slowly, sleepwalking again. Let me tell you something funny. My youngest son, when he was a child, sometimes he would sleepwalk. Not often, but every now and again, he would just get up and walk throughout the house while he should have been asleep in the bed. So I can relate to this story here, okay? His wife was sleepwalking and he thought it was an intruder. Samuel's jaw dropped. Good grief. I nearly defended the house against you. Kim looked down, dazed but unhurt, save for her pride and a little pepper dusting. So in other words, she was embarrassed, but she was not hurt. She was feeling bad and had to deal with the effects of the pepper spray. You always overreact, Sam. So when someone overreacts, we describe them as doing too much, being extra, okay? Someone that likes to exaggerate. You always overreact, Sam, she said, her voice still groggy. So when a person has a groggy voice, it's when you've been sleeping for a long period of time and your mouth is dry and you're trying to talk and your words aren't coming out clear. That's a groggy voice, okay? Groggy. Well, excuse me for thinking a bread thief broke into our home, he snapped. Now, when someone snaps, it's not talking about snapping your fingers, but when someone snaps at you, they are talking to you very sharply. Can you pass me the remote? Why you need the remote? Can't we watch this? Why did you snap at me? Okay. Why did you talk so sharply to me? Why are you so angered just because I asked you to pass me the remote. Okay, so when someone snaps, they are speaking violently towards you. Technically, she said with a faint smile, I did, or a small smile, okay, or a little smile. Samuel rubbed his forehead, torn between relief and embarrassment. You scared the daylights out of me. Buster barked again, tail wagging as if to say, told you it was just her. Kim sighed and sat down, fanning her eyes. Next time, maybe shout first and spray later. Samuel nodded sheepishly, or fair point. I'll add that to the list of life lessons. By morning, the whole event had become neighborhood gossip. So neighborhood gossip is when everyone in the community is talking about an event. Their nosy neighbor, Miss Pritchard, saw the commotion. Okay, commotion. Commotion is when someone's moving around. I can remember my neighbor, this was years ago, over 10 years ago. She has a daughter, and I remember coming home late one evening, and I saw a vehicle parked in the front yard, and the car had two people inside of it, and there was commotion. 8 months later, the young lady had a baby boy. Yeah, there was commotion, movement, okay? Okay, that's commotion. And that's a true story. Miss Pritchard saw the commotion and spread the story faster than wildfire. So, wildfire, okay? Describing someone that's doing something quite quickly. So, what she said, it just moved around the neighborhood very quickly. Soon, everyone knew Samuel had fought off his sleepwalking wife with pepper spray. The next block party, people couldn't stop teasing him. Hey, Sam, one neighbor called. Got your burglar repellent ready for bedtime? That's a tongue twister. Your burglar repellent ready for bedtime? So, repellent. Pepper spray is a repellent. It keeps something away from you. So I remember when I was younger and I would go outside to play, my parents, especially my mother, would put bug repellent on us called Off. And she would spray it on our bodies, tell us to close our eyes and mouth and spray Off on us, and it would repel or keep the mosquitoes from biting us. I needed some type of bug repellent on my neck. I don't know if you guys can see, but I have been bitten 3 or 4 times right here in this area over the last few days. Okay? I needed some bug repellent. Another added, maybe you should patent it, wife be gone spray. Patent it. Maybe you should get a license and call your repellent wife be gone. So he's basically saying and making jokes about his incident, spraying his wife, who he thought was a burglar, wife be gone. Samuel laughed it off, trying to keep his dignity intact. Laugh all you want, he said. But that was one close call. So a close call is something that almost happened but didn't happen. A close call. Kim smirked. You mean a wake-up call? That's a good one. A wake-up call. So a wake-up call is different from a close call. A wake-up call is when someone wakes you up. When you go to the hotels or for vacation and you want to get up at a certain time, you can call down to the front desk and say, I want a wake-up call at 7 a.m. And some reason, most people that go on vacations like to sleep in. I can't do that now. Now I still get up early. My body just wants to get up and be active. I just can't stay asleep that long anymore. They both laughed, and Samuel raised his cup of coffee. Here's to love, basically having a toast. Here's to love, loyalty, and less midnight drama. The crowd cheered, and Buster barked once more, his official stamp of approval. An official stamp of approval, meaning you're okay with something. Okay. So, for instance, if I were getting married to Tiffany, my now wife, and I wanted a stamp of approval, I may take her to meet my mother, and she may let me know when Tiffany leaves, I like her, basically giving me her stamp of approval. Okay? So that's my story for today's episode. Wow, what a great story about Samuel thinking he had a burglar in his home, but it turned out to be his sleepwalking wife. Oh, everyone in the neighborhood heard about it, made fun of him, and it became a life lesson in how to handle different situations. And also let us know that he needs to get him a new dog. That dog didn't do too much. Somebody should have got bit in that story. Well, that's going to do it for today's lesson. I hope you have enjoyed today's story as well as learned, I know, at least 10 to 15 different vocabulary words that you can apply to your English conversations. As always, if today's lesson has helped you, be sure to share it with a friend. If you would like to show your support for all of my free lessons that I have available on the channel, you can become a channel member. You can just scan the QR code right here or visit my website right here and show your support to the channel for all of my efforts in helping you on your English journey. With that being said, I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day, and I hope you join me on my next English lesson. I'll see you then.